the Hazel Park Amateur Radio Club Detroit Area Repeater Team meeting, weekly meeting, and we're covering phase one primarily today, which is the antenna replacement project. Phase two would be the VHF equipment replacing in the new equipment rack. Phase three would be the replacing the equipment rack at the UHF site. And phase four is setting up the link between the VHF and UHF site. So that's what we're looking at. But anyway, we're moving along. Our big headline this week is we have received confirmation from the landlord that they have received our request to do the work that we need to do. They had a few questions which I answered, and so I have the wrong. Hold on, let me just get out of this for a second. Oh, there we go. Okay, so basically, this is what was said to the landlord here. I introduced myself and who we are, and reminded him that we met last November as we did the walk around. And so these are the pictures that we've all seen many times. Yeah, are
You're
you?
not showing us anything, Joe.
I'm not sharing, right? Don't tell me I'm not sharing.
Okay,
Shoot. Okay.
I won't tell you.
I am sharing the screen. So, oh, okay. Okay. So let me just back up just a little bit. So, like I said, all right, we'll wait for somebody's joining us, and I'm not sure who it is, although I do see. Oh, let me open it. Let me just open this up a little bit. Okay. Oh, Al is here. Great. Okay. K8ALH. So, all right. So this is the email that went to JD Richmond, who's our contact there, explaining who we are and what we're trying to do and the concept. And it's what we basically talked about. And our hope certainly is that if you know, right here where the T-Mobile left the Unistrut channels there, that we'd be able to use them. And there seems to be some evidence, as you can see, that they actually are connected to the steel girders. So that's a good thing. So this is what went to them, and they read it, and we talked about two men working 4 hours. You know, we have money set aside that we're not asking for a freebie here. Anyway, so we did that same day, as a matter of fact. I very appreciative. So, you know, his primary response is basically this: is we just want to make sure that the project doesn't cost them any money, and new penetrations into the building. So, you know, we're going to have to rethink how we're going to do the smaller UHF antenna, but I don't see that as a particular problem. And then I explained to him, like I said, listen, we're not asking for a freebie here. We actually have more than this allocated, but so if that's what we can get away with, that would be great. And really, all that it really is hold on. All that we're all right. All right, let me just get to where I want to go here. I'm sorry. Um, Oh, I can't find it right at the moment, but anyway, so I mean, you can see here are, you know, photos that clearly indicate that that those are anchored pretty well. And so my initial concern was, well, maybe somebody else had an eye on them, and fortunately, not the case. So we're good. We're good there. This is what the other antenna looks like. This is the UHF antenna. It's receive only. And the one that we have, it's not in horrible shape. Actually, it's in relatively good shape. But for the price, and as long as we're doing this, and we got to change out that post anyway, you know, again, we're looking at about a 40-year window. So let's just change everything out, and we could use this as a backup antenna or at one of our sites. We'll repurpose it. So
Hey, Joe.
yeah, go ahead.
Hugh,
Yeah, go ahead.
uh, one thing you left out of your potential quote there, your estimate,
Yeah.
was the fact that they have to get the mast and the antenna to the roof. That's gotta go on the outside of the building. They have to hoist that up, and you kind of left that part out.
Um, I did, but I didn't because, and I'll tell you why, because in addition to the email that I just sent, let me just pull that up again. I also sent that document that has all that specifically, which is more of a legal, where is it here now? Yeah, so it is, I'm trying to retrieve it here just to, if I can get it in the next 10 seconds here. Hold on a minute. Um,
Joe, I can read that. I can read that later. I
yeah,
just don't want,
anyway, yeah,
I don't want us doing it because if we did it, I don't know anybody in the club that's strong enough
yeah,
to pull
no.
that up 200 feet. And then how many windows might we break doing it?
Yeah, no, that's not a job for us. I mean, operators, we're not tower climbers. And we'll let them do that. And also by letting the people in the building do it, or people associated with them, like maybe their electrician who's on contract for that building, they have they have clearance, and everybody's just more comfortable with who they are. And it's just not that complex. We're only putting up, if you see here, we're putting up a pipe. This
Right,
already exists. This is the hard
right,
part. So to be honest with you, but nobody, listen, our club should have some sort of a policy where beyond a certain point, let's say 70 years old, you shouldn't be climbing up on a ladder that's taller than you are. You know what I mean? So not that we want to discourage physical fitness, but um, anyway,
or skilled in the first place, no matter what your age is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I always liked in middle school, not in high school too. I was able to climb the rope to the ceiling of the gym. That was like a exclusive club. I don't know that I could do that today. Just anyway. Okay, so that's where we stand right now with the antenna. So I will promise you all. Oh, and also, oh, I know, Len, have you had a chance? Were you able to, do you want to reach out to the antenna farm and set up the account for the club?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so if you could do that, we'll get this locked and loaded.
What's the chances of us doing business with somebody else besides Antenna Farm, especially
Hey,
for the duplex or the antenna?
w-
Hi.
one-stop shopping is nice, but if we've got time if we get a better deal or better service, but better reason, Antenna Farm is who they are, dependable and all that. But this is a specialty, so I would say everything is on the table right now. Everything. These quotes that we have, and let me just go back to it here. These quotes that we have is from the antenna farm. This quote here. Let me put up
I
the
also want to put in there, Mike Cleary, VPC,
yeah.
went to great lengths to find out these estimates, and they're pretty solid.
Okay.
He went, he looked into great detail, what costs and where, and the dependability and reputation of these companies.
Right. Right.
Well,
And yeah, he took this list and went through it, and what did he do again? You mean that from the manufacturer standpoint or from the
From the
vendor?
manufacturer and the vendor.
Yeah.
He looked into it in great detail. He got more than one estimate. He did a lot of research online, and that's how he came up with with what he has.
I never saw more than one estimate, but okay.
Oh, we talked to a commercial one that you had mentioned. I forgot the name of it now, and that's why I said that we don't have enough money. The one that did the Motorola, they won't let us use our equipment. They want to supply all the equipment, and like I said, we just don't have enough money to hire them.
Wait a minute. Now I'm lost. So,
Well, I wasn't at the meeting last week, but two
right.
weeks ago, you had a company, a commercial company that did Motorola equipment.
Oh, I know who you're
And
talking about. You're talking about the antenna guys or something like that.
no, they were the voter, that type of item.
Hold
And
on,
the
I'm
only,
looking. I'm kind of looking. We had three quotes. One was
right,
but
that's
you
what I
know
was
what?
saying. We did get more than one quote.
And
And
that,
that's the one that we
Yeah.
can afford and has a good reputation and it's a good place to do business with. That's all, that's what I'm saying.
Where what vendor are you talking about?
It was 2 weeks ago, and Mike knew more about this than I did, but I was there when he did it. All they did was it was a commercial company. They did
Yeah.
Motorola equipment, and we didn't have enough money to
Well,
do what we wanted done for one-stop shopping.
is that the one? I know what you're talking about. Here's the
Right.
problem. When you go to a vendor with broad criteria, you're going to end up with a broad estimate of how much it's going to cost because they have to cover,
Right.
they don't know for sure. When you set up,
And they won't let us buy our own equipment. They have to buy and fly it all, and they usually add about 2.5 times whatever the equipment costs.
yeah, but you got to look at the overall bundle.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, um, listen, they got to make money too. But on the other hand,
Exactly.
this job is so small. It is
They
so
don't want
small.
us.
It's hardly worth their effort. That company, I believe, was based. It was more west in Western Michigan.
Yes, it was.
It was, yeah. So for them to really drive over, it'd be long. They'd be on the road longer than they'd be putting up the antenna.
That's right.
And that's
So
all we really need them for is the antenna.
yeah, that's right. So
All we
that's what.
really need them for is all we really need is to have the mast done and
Yeah,
get the mast and the antenna to the roof. That's all
right,
we need, but we got it from there.
right. So let's let the building electrician do it. I mean, he knows the
Yeah.
building, and
Yeah, and
that's
then we don't have the responsibility of breaking a window on the way up.
where that's correct.
Mhm.
And these guys know how to, you have no idea how much stuff was on that roof. They put it on and took it off and put it on and took it off. When
Right.
it comes, and I think that's why I don't know if they got kicked out or they willingly left or I think when T-Mobile bought Sprint or something, I'm not entirely sure of those details, but
They bought Sprint. They bought Sprint and they bought Nextel.
boy, you would have thought it was the other way around. But
well,
anyway,
and they were, from the advertisements I've seen, they've been redoing their entire nationwide network. To, and now
yeah,
they're claiming that they even got better coverage than Verizon, which I doubt, but that's what they're claiming.
well,
So I think they got all new setups. They would put up all new setups and then take down and get rid of the old ones, which is what they did
yeah.
here.
And for that, we're very grateful to T-Mobile for giving us, I mean, they saved us a lot. If we end up using those Unistruts, which it looks like we
Yeah.
may be able to, that's a huge savings for us.
And
So
probably got rid of some interference that we were having too.
and interference, although,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So, but
Joe,
we'll get,
did the building maintenance take the commercial equipment antennas up and down themselves too, or did
you know what,
T-Mobile and do it
We don't know.
themselves, or
I would guess, seeing the size of that equipment, at first it was just a little bit, but towards the end they had this huge like locker full of, I mean, the thing it had to been 10 feet tall,
Hmm.
about 10 feet by 10 feet anyway, and it was sitting up on a steel girders to support it. But my guess would be they probably brought a crane in to do it, frankly.
so the
Um,
building maintenance currently they're all for installing our antennas for us?
Well, I don't know if they're the ones installing it. We're in talks right now with the landlord because, first of all, we want to get permission to do this, which I don't think is going to be a particular problem. But what we would like to do ideally, I mean, if you have a better idea, we can talk about it, but let's just hire the building electrician. They subcontract would be my guess, to
Okay, that's what I
oversee
was
that.
wondering. They probably
And
would subcontract it to somebody.
yeah, for
Well,
sure.
were they planning on quoting, or are
And,
they just saying that we have to do it and that's the only option you have?
You know what? I just heard back from them when Friday. So I don't know yet. It's going to take at least a week before I think somebody responds. And if they don't respond, I will get after them on that. So
Did the
it
antenna did the antenna men ever respond after your second
they
request?
did. They did. They said they weren't interested. It's not big enough for them to drive all the way. I think they're in Grand Rapids, or not Grand Rapids, but Benton
It might be
Harbor, I think.
Lansing or something. Yeah, okay. It could be out west. Yeah.
Yeah. They're really focused. You know, if it's a big job, I'm sure they'll come, into the area here. But to put
They
up
installed Jim's tower and his Yagi in his
yeah,
house. So I
yeah.
don't know if that's a big job too, but I guess if you do enough of them, it's simple, right?
Yeah. And I mean, for us, we're putting up the mast and the antenna. And the hardest part is is going to be running the heliacs. We'll have to open up one of the there's a we. It's funny. It said they said no more penetrations in the building. Believe me, you don't need to make any more. There's so many that are there. They're all filled with like that expandable foam, right now. But I think that that's easily removed, and we can use one of those that because that's what went through there and before anyway was transmission line. Okay, what else do we have? I other than that, that's where we are. Just showing. I'm going through here. I here's our current antenna. And I'll, what we need to really start focusing on now, in addition to the antenna, and we're not going to ease off on the antenna, but we need to get a plan because we don't even have a plan yet for replacing the VHF equipment. So I want to get with John Teagarden and we'll begin that conversation and we'll, go as quickly as possible. It's a lot easier with that type of equipment. We don't have to get anybody's permission. We just, build the rack, test it, and we'll get it upstairs somehow. So, is there any that's pretty much what I have at the moment. So we're basically just waiting to hear back from the landlord. Once we do, we can get that done and finished, and we'll pull the trigger. We'll order all the antenna stuff. I know there's a request to get the duplexer here. I'm fine with that. We can order the duplexer. We know what it will, what it needs to be. Where are we gonna, I guess, Len, that would go to your place. Would that be
Fine.
correct? Yeah. All right. So I'll get with John on that.
Are you planning on putting the new duplexer on the old system right now?
We can hook it in there. It's just a matter of wiring it in. I would think run a coax to it, and John, that would make John happy right now to test it out. And
Yeah.
And then just move it when it's time to move to the new system.
yep,
Yeah, we'll just move it across the way there. Move it, and and
I
hopefully
thought
we'll have the
That
new
might
thought
antenna.
even
for
give John a chance to work on the old duplexer once it's offline
Oh,
without
that's
worrying
good.
about keeping the system up and operating.
I'd
If
Maybe.
like to
we
see
put
us
the new
order that.
duplexer in place, and then, John can just take the old duplexer once it's offline and see if he can't, refurbish it. And we'll either, have a spare or use it for
Right,
some other purpose.
right.
Can we,
Murray worked on it once. I don't know
Yeah,
if he's still up to that sort of thing, but
probably not.
can we
but
decide to order the duplexer this week?
we could, we certainly could.
Order it
I
tomorrow.
want let's get. I need to get sign. This is. I mean, I've got it all, but I need him to sign off on this. Just I want to just make sure the wording and where is it? Just to, is this it? No. Well, it's looks something like this. It's not what I'm looking for exactly, but the yeah, this so I'll get with him. So the Spectra, we have zero in there. It's funny. That's why this is the wrong one. I have to get God, I got so many slides. Hold on, let me just get the right one up there. Um, Just a minute here. There's like 200 slides, and keeping track of them at all times is not an easy task. But let me, um, did I just, I know I just had this event. Well, that's one reason, because I was in the wrong place. There we go. It's the wrong version. Here, this is the version I wanted to show. Okay, so here we are. So, duplexer right here. So here, so we have right here the actually, now that I think of it, this is what he's good with. But I want to run this by him one last time. The TPRD 1456. Now, this has a difference of transmit receive of 400 kilohertz. We're, of course, 600. So this has deeper nulls in it. So it's a little bit of a better one for a few more dollars more. So the important part is the insertion loss is only 2 dB. On the transmit side, not a big deal. Got plenty of power there. But on the receive side, sometimes that could be an issue. So uh, we also, this is a mistake. $50 here for shipping does not quite seem quite right. There's another one floating around. It was about 400 for shipping.
That's the antenna.
Oh, is that the antenna? Thank you. Okay, yeah. So $50. That's right. That's right. I have the slide that calculates because of the weight and the size and all that. Okay, great. Thank you, Len. Um,
And that may not cover the insurance at that price. So you have to put enough insurance on it to cover replacement
correct.
costs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all this is estimated right now. We'll have actuals once we get going, but I guess this could be the first thing. So I'll send him off um, an email and that and so on.
Well, how long after you get your legal paperwork done do you plan on doing the ordering? If it's going to be just a matter of 2 or 3 days, you could probably wait till a few days and just order the whole shipment at one time.
I
Probably be
would
cheaper
say
shipping cost.
once we get approval,
Yeah.
I would say about 50 microseconds, I think. We may have to wait 50 microseconds and
Because
then
if you have multiple shipments, it's going to increase your shipping cost.
yeah, and it probably will. We'll try. Good point. Is
Good
we want to
point,
ship
John.
as much together as we can. Exactly. Right. We're paying the same truck to drive it anyway. Right. So
That's
Well,
why
chances are that all the
Right.
pieces won't be available at the same time.
You know, the antenna won't come with the small connectors and stuff. You'll
yeah,
save money on the connectors and everything Antenna Farm has in stock if you buy it all at once. As far as the duplexers and the antenna, they'll probably be two different separate
yeah.
shippers. And Antenna Farm actually at $2,700 is the best price for that antenna on the internet anywhere. Every other place is over $3,000.
Is it? Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah, they seem like a reasonable outfit there. And
I've
one other thing to
I've used
consider.
them plenty of times. I use them for everything.
Do you? Oh, great.
Absolutely
Terrific.
everything is high quality. It's no Chinese garbage with Antenna Farm.
The real deal. Or the real uh uh what were those connectors that we used? No, never mind. The King's connectors, the BNC connectors, Kings. They used to be in right in Tuckahoe, New York. There's a middle of a factory in the middle of a residential area, and then they one day just closed the factory and moved south somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what we have. So we're moving. Oh, what I did want to say is I don't think August is the time to be working on the antenna. I mean, we were up there that day with the dish and doing that stuff, that room has got to be over 100 degrees. Now, on a day like, once in a while it's the decent weather, it's hard to say. But to be honest, I was looking at the average temperatures and so on. I think mid-September things start cooling down a little bit
You want to
because,
have everything ready before September.
oh
If you can
yeah, oh
possibly
yeah,
have
have
all the
it
stuff ready to go, have it
right,
checked out.
right.
And I wouldn't let the temperature. I remember going on vacation in August, and about froze my butt off, and all I wanted to do is water ski. It was so cold that I couldn't, didn't want to get in the water. So
Well,
you can't hold your breath for weather.
no, you can't, but I will tell you, it's tough up there when that sun is beating down on you, you know.
Right.
It was, we did that work. We had
Hmm.
the link, the microwave link with the
Have them have them put the antenna up. We don't have to be up there sweating for that. If you got a
I
third
don't,
party installer do it, get the antenna up, and then everything else
okay.
can follow a little bit later.
All right.
Let them worry about the heat. Don't
Okay.
don't don't
Yeah.
progress ordering, right?
Yeah, I hear you. You're right. You're right. Listen, again, the microsecond we get approval, we can send out the orders. I no no. Oh, and we can get the duplexer now. I always say I'll get with John tomorrow. I'll send him an email. Yeah, but we got to do something about an equipment rack to find one.
Well, it don't have to be new; it can be used, and
Um,
there's ways of hunting that down.
Mike VPC mentioned he had one, I don't know, months ago.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
but
he
we have to
did.
go up and move all his stuff to get it down here.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just get, and also so it was only a half rack. As long as we're putting in a rack, we may not occupy the full rack, but I would say put in a full 6, 7 foot rack. You don't know what we're going to do in the future if we join these networks or we put in IP equipment or whatever. I mean, as long as we're going to occupy the floor space, we might as well get the air rights, like they say in New York.
You
Uh,
might have to order a new one with the equipment purchase, right?
I can't imagine we have to order a new equipment rack. I mean, companies come and go and they change stuff out. There's got to be a gazillion equipment racks
Let
available.
me see what I can do on the used market here.
Yeah, I would think so. But I would think we would definitely want a rack. We don't want, like the telecommunications racks, the phone companies, how they're all open on all sides. I think we want to close a rack with sides and a
A
door,
cabinet. You want a cabinet,
a
a rack
cabinet.
for a
Yeah,
cabinet.
a
Yes.
cabinet, I think. Yeah, 6 to 7 feet. And we can get that up. Ideally, if we could build everything in Len's garage, test it out, it's all wired up, and then put it on the truck, drive it over, and bring it in, and basically just play. It's tough to work up there. It's in the summer it's really really hot. In the winter it's really really cold.
Are
It's
you certain, Joe, that there is no service elevator in that apartment building?
one of the yeah that one of the there's only two elevators, and what they do is they use one of the passenger elevators. It has a little bit higher roof, a little bit, so you could like get a couch on end in there, or something like that. But no, there's not. You know, if the building was built today, I'm sure there would be. But that building was built like in the 1960s, I believe, the late 1960s. Um, and I guess back then they didn't have service elevators. I don't know.
So if you build the rack off-site,
Yeah,
planning on testing everything, I guess, off-site and
it-
everything goes well, are you
yeah.
going to break it down and then take it up in pieces and reassemble it for
Well,
transportation purposes?
well,
Or
I think in this case, what we do is we would build it first of all, get a furniture dolly, and you mount the rack on a furniture dolly. And when I say mount it, I don't mean like weld it onto the furniture dolly, but just stabilize it so that we can roll it around. And then, yeah, I mean, you could roll it right up there. Now, the question is, how do you get it up the last flight of steps? There's elevators all the way up to the last flight. Then it steps all the way. So we would need one of those refrigerator, like from U-Haul, those refrigerator like dollies, for that sort of, or washing machine dollies.
They
So
have power dollies now too that'll actually walk up the steps. Honest, they
I,
do.
I I know.
And,
I saw a couple clips of they're pretty smart.
and also, Joe, you could
Yeah,
hire some professional movers to do that.
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Well,
Hire two men in a truck.
Yeah,
Well,
they'll
what a
just
great
put
name.
straps on themselves and walk it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
A
So we could,
professional mover to move that is not a lot of money. It's not as expensive as you think.
right. No. And in the long run, that it's done right and nothing gets damaged and,
Right.
you know,
And then they're responsible if they drop it.
yeah, but we still have to fix it.
hmm.
So, but anyway, I'm sure. But what I was about to say is, yeah, the idea of building it in Len's garage and testing it thoroughly
You
and
could probably take the heavy pieces of equipment out of it too, like power amplifiers and
yeah, power
anything
supplies.
like that, make it as light as possible.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. That's
And
right.
you don't want the sensitive stuff in there either
Right.
when you're moving it.
Right. So so we gotta get John
I have several dollies here.
oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so we'll figure that. I can't wait. I mean, those are the things that we look forward to having to, sort out. So, but we'll get it up there. We'll get it up there. All right. All right. So that's where we are. Stay tuned, I guess. We're moving. We're moving, and we are going to make good progress here. Once we get the antenna sorted, the rest of it is going to be a lot less complicated. Well, setting up that microwave link is a project in itself, but as far as replacing the other equipment, I think we're good there.
Are those separate antennas and equipment that's going to have to be mounted? And who's going to do that?
Yeah. Well, let's just I'm let's with the equip if we could avoid sending it. What I'd like to do is to ship everything right to the site. I mean, we could ship it to Len's garage, and we could bring it over on Mike's truck, VPZ. No, not
Used
VPC,
truck.
or Hughes truck, or yeah, well, right, somebody, yeah. I mean, we could, but let's see. So, Len, if you could set up an account, and you can send him this. I'll send this to you. I mean, this is basically what we're looking for. Where these numbers came from, they came off the website. I mean, I went through item by item, but let them, do a formal. You could just hand them the sheet and let them do a formal quotation, and hopefully we'll save a few dollars there. So,
And have our tax number handy.
and have our tax number handy.
I'll get with Bob.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Len is across that, and he's done a lot of very similar stuff like this. So very well positioned to get this sorted. And again, this is what the original grant was, $26,742. And this is how it was originally divided up. So we're going to try to stay by it as much as possible. Of course, the big juggernaut here is the tools, connectors, and supplies, which is 42%. But so the labor will come out of that, and other things. But that's a lot of headroom there for us. So I think we're okay. So all right. Any other questions? If not, I will say that's what we know for now. We will keep everybody updated, in terms of how we're moving ahead with the landlord and getting all that approval stuff, and also getting with John AA8UU and starting to get in the mindset of starting to design the new system and what it is exactly that we want to be able to order. So that's what we'll go, and we'll talk about that more during the week. So don't forget, we got the picnic coming up. Don't forget that. So, so there. That's all.
Okay,
I'll
Joe.
see. All right, very good. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Night.
Good night.